Hey there, people, it's Andrew, and I'm here to talk to you about some Shadow Complex. Classic gaming fans, this is what you've been waiting for. If you know anything about the side-scroller genre, you'd know that they're responsible for some of the best games of all time. Just with the modernization of other genres like the shooter, the side-scroller has all but vanished, really. Classic titles like the early Metroid games and Castlevania series are usually credited with defining this format, and Shadow Complex pays homage to them practically the entire time. But if you haven't played any of those past greats, playing Shadow Complex gives you a nice retrospective on everything that was done correctly back in their heyday. So we've established it's a side-scroller, and it has a story too. It's based on Orson Scott Card's novel Empire, and while interesting, it's not the best form of narrative out there. See, the game's protagonist is Jason Bailey. He finds this chick named Claire at a bar, and they decide one day to go cave diving. It just so happens that this cave is infested with a super terrorist organization called the Restoration. They're hell-bent on attacking San Francisco and New York, and lo and behold, Jason finds himself in a predicament. Gotta rescue Claire, gotta save the world too. Now, one of the most notable things about this is it's an Xbox Live Arcade title. And strangely, the voice work, the visuals, and the gameplay are incredibly deep. So deep that it's better than most retail games out there. And I know it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but you really need to see this game in action to understand how beautiful that really is. While all of that's good, gameplay is where this shines the brightest. Now, the aiming and the shooting work a lot like Geometry Wars. It feels pretty precise as you can get. And headshots, you can actually achieve those pretty accurately. I mentioned that the game looks gorgeous, and that's another quirky feature Shadow Complex boasts. It's called 2.5D, meaning if a crate is a little off-center of your pathway, you can probably shoot it along with enemies patrolling in the backgrounds. You just can't go there, but you can shoot it. Yeah, so it seems like an oddity at first, but I assure you, you'll quickly grow accustomed to it. And just like Super Metroid and other side-scrolling classics, exploring in a game like this is your bread and butter. If you explore, you gain experience, and you find upgrades, and that's what the game is about. It's becoming a super powerful killing machine while exploring a multitude of environments within the complex. You'll find new weapons and upgrades, and it's incredibly addictive. For instance, you can get these boot enhancements called the friction dampeners, and they'll allow you to run at incredible speeds and vaporize anybody in your path. They're also used for puzzles later on, but it's incredible to be able to find these different things and utilize them while you're adventuring around this complex. Now, multiple playthroughs are warranted as well. This game definitely has some major replayability. There's various difficulties, and there are rewards for finding all the items hidden too. And this is one of my major gripes though with old school scrollers. It's really tough and really difficult, sometimes way too difficult, to know where the last few items are. Chair was obviously aware of some of these pains, and in a detailed way, has labeled almost everything on your map from top to bottom. Squares with a question mark let you know an item is around, and it'll detract into a dot once you've found it. It's extremely helpful, and there's a blue line that lets players know where to go if they get lost too. Well, there are a few instances where multiple items are hidden under the same question mark, and you'll never know that they're there. It makes it frustrating for completionists, and you'll more than likely have to turn to an online guide to find them. Now, speaking about replayability, there's also a Proving Grounds, which is a nice little distraction. It's a series of challenge rooms, which really they're just time trials, and you can compete against your friends on them. They're fun, but they're pretty short, and it's just something you definitely could sink your teeth into. Overall, though, Chair has crafted one of the most robust forms of entertainment available on Xbox Live right now. Even if you're not a huge fan of side-scrollers, there is something to be experienced here. It's addictive to go around, collect all these different upgrades, and just become a super powerful death machine. Punching somebody across the room, running up on the ceiling, your foam gun, making new pathways. It's all just pure fun. And for $15, I'm going to highly recommend this to absolutely everybody. This is a must purchase.